The opinions expressed in this program reflect only those of the participants and are not necessarily those of the sponsors, management, or staff of WTBQ Radio or FST Broadcasting Corporation.
WTBQ. Good morning and welcome to another episode of the Nonprofit Notebook. I'm your host, Anquinette Hayles, Advancement Consultant for Greystone Programs. And today we have a very special guest with us, the lovely Jennifer Austin from City Winery. Good morning, Jennifer.
Good morning, Anquinette.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
That's good. That's good. I hear we're supposed to get some rain later, so that's always
a change.
That's a change. It's supposed to get a little cooler, so I'm excited about that. And
we have been watching the Wallkill behind us and the waterfall very closely. So,
yeah, I can only imagine. And with rain has just come some challenges in the area. So, really hoping that we pull it together and everyone can support the reliefs that are happening.
Absolutely. Yeah. We are actually planning one at City Winery for August.
Yes. Now, is this early August or?
It'll be late August. Now we've decided to move forward with it. So now we'll look for some local talent and plan the day so people can enjoy it and donate to help people build back their life.
Yeah. A lot of disasters that are happening around us. And so we'll keep our eyes out for that, our eyes and our ears out for that information so that we can support the efforts. Because it's always great when the communities come together and really support our own.
Everything, especially in Hudson Valley, it is just, we are made up of beautiful communities that when you see something like this happen, everybody joins together. You have your volunteer fire department, you have the police, you have all of the rescue, and then you have just ordinary people helping each other. That's what's beautiful about living here and working here.
Absolutely. The Hudson Valley is a remarkable place, and it's just so good to be a resident.
Yeah.
Right?
Yay, us.
So speaking of being a resident of Hudson Valley, City Winery, you all are pretty new to the area. Not too new, but pretty new to the area. Started out in New York City, okay,
yes.
And then you migrated up this way. Of course you did, because it's the Hudson Valley. Who would not want to be here?
It's kind of a funny story about our particular spot and where we moved. Michael Dorff, the CEO and founder of City Winery, his first venture in New York City was the Knitting Factory.
Oh.
And it was a club, and he had started it. And then, as the stories goes, that he went on a trip and fell in love with wine and how music and food and wine all together was something that he wanted to bring to people. And they opened this first City Winery on Varick Street. And that was a hit. And underneath it was the only working winery in Manhattan.
My gosh.
That they had built. And
talk about flowing into the vein of what you're supposed to do. Like, when does that ever
There's
happen?
pictures from it, and you just see, it looks like people crouched over this.
Oh my gosh.
But, and then things evolved, and, time went on, and there was expansion, and then moving when the location was sold and expanding again. More wine needed to be made, and Mr. Dorff was looking in the area because he lives in the area for a place to make wine. And someone said, "Hey, go to this location." He was standing at the gates of what was the Montgomery Mills, and saw that it was built in 1813 as a worsted wool factory.
Wow.
Which makes yarn, knitting.
Wow.
He just had no choice.
Talk about full circle. Like, that is such an amazing story. That is wonderful. Wow. So you're in the Hudson Valley area now.
We are.
And you're doing a great work. You're doing a lot of partnerships and collaborations. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about what you do at City Winery, because you have a big role.
It's it's a little community into itself. We obviously we have a lot of people and different areas of expertise. We have our winery, which pretty much takes up the lower half of the City Winery building, the main mill, as it would be. And then we have tremendous events. Weddings are extremely popular. And then we have our restaurant and our patio. And soon we'll be opening our wine garden, which will be an outdoor space for really more laid back. And of course, our outdoor amphitheater. And inside, we have our main falls room, which overlooks the falls, but it also is our indoor concert venue. And that's where the glorious weddings happen. And so my job is to bring culinary and beverage and winemaking and service and customers and bring that all together and make sure it flows and support my teams so they can be the best of what they want to be and make it just a fun place to work where you can learn things and maybe, grow a career or just make one.
Wow. So outside of being a great place to work, what did you find was the number one thing that the Hudson Valley was begging for with the City Winery? So you guys have so many different things that you're doing, but what was the initial thing that kind of got the ball rolling? Was it the weddings?
For our popularity, it was the initial boost was through our weddings and our events, and I believe that was kind of what it was originally intended for too, but the restaurant was a major component and very important to Mr. Dorfin and for City Winery, that each one has these components which we call indulge your senses, where you really taste, touch, sound, everything that's associated with the sense. You need to be able to provide to your guest. So we got noticed because of the many people who were coming in for that, and also coming in for concerts in our restaurant culinary package. Our menus are fabulous, and really have an outstanding Chef Tony Moustakas. He's just amazing.
Wow.
There's no challenge you can put in front of him, and he often will just walk away from me when I have an idea. That's everybody's fear when I get ideas. But, yeah.
Oh, no. Well, just by the look of your face, you can tell that amazing things are being cooked up in the kitchen with Chef, because I consider myself to be a foodie, and you look at body language and you look at how someone lights up when they talk about food, and that's kind of an indicator that it's going to be a good experience. And so to hear that it's such a well-rounded business with food and you're incorporating all of the senses, I think that's wonderful. So as the general manager, how did you get started in this business, in the wine business?
Well, as I was telling one of my young managers once, you have a plan. And that plan is, you may get to find the end of that plan, but it may not be the path.
Absolutely.
So I am a child of a man who ran hotels and was very involved in building hotels and being a general manager of hotels. And he was a single parent, so we would spend a lot of time moving around, and he raised me, and we would often stay in the hotels.
So I'm going to stop you right there. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back.
Greystone Programs is a nonprofit human services agency that provides essential services to more than 600 children, adults, and families living with autism and other developmental disabilities. Greystone Programs also provides residential support in a community environment with 17 homes in the mid-Hudson Valley area. Greystone Programs offers exceptional care and support for a variety of programs and services. To get involved or for more information, visit greystoneprograms.org.
This is Zach Crux, Sports Director for WTBQ. Tune in every weekday morning to the Frank Truatt Morning Show to get the latest news, scores, and info about your favorite teams and players. That's every Monday through Friday on the Frank Truatt Morning Show, right here on WTBQ.
WTBQ. And we are back. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to the Nonprofit Notebook. My name is Anquinette Hayles, Advancement Consultant for Greystone Programs. And with us today, we have the wonderful Jennifer Austin from City Winery. So thanks again for being here, Jennifer.
Thank you for having me.
So before we went to our quick break, we were talking a little bit about how you got into the wine industry.
So I grew up surrounded by hotel and food and beverage, and hotels are little cities to themselves as well. And I learned about hospitality, and I absolutely loved the business and spent my career first starting through the food and beverage side, and then eventually migrating to sales and front office operations, and then became a general manager of a hotel, and I achieved that dream. And then there was this thing that happened in 2020 that really started smashing up the hospitality world. And for the first time since I think I was 14, I took a break from working. And
good for you.
As I was searching for what was going to be the next chapter, I wanted it to be challenging. I really wanted to go back to my roots in food and beverage.
Wow.
During COVID, I live in the wonderful city of Beacon, New York. So
Beacon is wonderful and thriving and beautiful.
It was, we moved there about 14 years ago, and it was the first place that I had ever had a house and a home and started to know people. And so during COVID, I'm like, my husband didn't want me to cook anymore. So, so I went and knocked on some friends' doors, and I started waitressing again, and just loved it. And when I saw the ad for the job, I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to explore this world that I had left, and maybe that dream will come again. And they liked me enough to hire me. And
Absolutely.
I run a 26-acre little microcosm community that allows me to practice the art of hospitality and relearn some things, but also learn new approaches to sustainability in our business and community in our business.
Yeah, I was going to say you've actually never gone away from community. You've stayed right in that vein, and outside of people checking in and out, you're doing I feel like everything that you would do in the hospitality business. Absolutely,
and we do have a barn with 3 guest rooms. So I get to satisfy that part of it. But I will tell you, it's really been the programming, and we get to also, as general managers in our company, we get to direct and create activations, we call them, where we can partner with people. And one of the things that I especially wanted to do was partner with people who are local to the community.
Absolutely.
So we have a comedy show that H&H Comedy. He grew up in the area, and from anything to that to, we have an open mic night that one of our cooks started.
Wow.
And Annalise and Ryan, who are also Beacon residents, but very, very active in the community, and beautiful songwriters and singers. They have a monthly show, and now we just made an alliance with, we're sponsoring, one of the sponsors of the Wallkill River Center for the Arts, which is actually down the street from us. And we're starting a series with Sip and Paint with one of their artists, Nancy Reed Jones, and Sarah Pearson over there is just a wonderful supporter, and we're very involved in the plein air festival every year. So
yes,
and then
Greystone, of course,
Greystone.
And the collaboration and just the sense of community between the two organizations has been wonderful. And we just recently collaborated with you on the wine bottle. And that did really good. And when I saw the email and you said, we're sold out, I was like, oh my gosh, we're sold out. So that's wonderful to see and experience that, what working together for a common cause can do. And Greystone is so appreciative just of all of its partners, especially when you go above and beyond something like putting an individual's artwork on the bottle and really spotlighting the benefits of the expressive arts program. And with that being said, we have our fall event coming up. So if you're listening, save the date, October 15th, 2023. We're having our 31st annual wine showcase. It's a silent auction as well as a live auction happening. And it's going to be good food and great entertainment. But you all have collaborated once again with us on a silent auction item that I'd love for you to talk a little bit about, because I'm new to this. And when I heard about it, I was like, okay, what's the bidding? I need to make sure my name is on the list. It sounds like a great opportunity for me and my friends. So let's talk a little bit about that.
So we make wine at City Winery, and every city winery makes wine. We happen to provide most of the wine to the other city wineries. So we have one of the largest facilities in our organization. And that allows us to do what we call Barrel for Benefit program. And that program is really meant for nonprofits. And the whole idea is that you start your bidding at $10,000 and the nonprofit will get the profit from the barrel, and that all goes to you. And then the person who wins the bid gets treated to an amazing process and walks away with 217 or so bottles of wine, because that's what you get out of a barrel.
So I just want to clarify that I can make my own wine from a barrel if I win the bidding on this silent auction item that will only be found at the October 15th wine showcase with Greystone Programs. So, okay.
Yes, technically, yes.
Okay.
So it's a process, because winemaking is a process,
right,
and you actually get to be part of that process. And the first comes and it's always like you get to bring people through that process with you, family, friends, anyone who, other wine lovers that are, want to go along. And first there's kind of an interview of what do your tastes like? Are we looking at a white? Are we looking at a red? What kind? And then explaining sort of a little mini education about making wine.
Oh my gosh.
And then you come back and you then we start with our blending, and you have a blending session where you blend different wines together, or different, to get the flavor that you are looking for. And then it goes into the barrel, and it does the magic in there, and there's tastes that you can come back for during the process to see where it is in the process.
Wow.
And yeah.
I'm just smiling I'm smiling from ear to ear. This sounds like such a great opportunity.
It's amazing, and you get to design your own label for your own wine, and then you whether you're keeping them and you have this dark cellar, or you're giving them to friends or family, or it's a company that you own. But for a nonprofit, it's someone who's bidding. It's our way of just taking our cost out, giving nonprofits like Greystone the availability of really having that major prize, but not having to pay for it in advance.
Absolutely. So this is This is great. And thank you for just elaborating on the process. And again, you can only find it on October 15th at our wine showcase, our 31st wine showcase. And we're looking forward to the event and this opportunity to really connect again with all of our community partners and just the families and that we serve. And we look forward to highlighting our individuals and just their growth and development within the expressive arts program and just how that benefits them. So thank you. I'll be the first to say it on air. Thank you so much for this collaboration and opportunity.
Thank you as well. I mean, there's nothing better than being able to somehow do good in this industry, and to see that we're able to, help a little and offer that kind of assistance or just a new idea or a new outlet to raise money for the amazing things that Greystone Industries does in our community. In fact, you have a home right by City Winery on Factory Street. So that's an amazing, you're not only our neighbors, but I'm sort of a little more intimately aware of Greystone, and I love being able to do that.
Absolutely. And just before we wrap up, let's talk a little bit about that. Now, your husband has done an amazing job. He was a former board member, but just amazing job just sitting on the board and being able to spearhead, certain initiatives, and then just to give that guidance and that time back, because board members don't get paid for what they do, for the hours that they spend. And so thank you to your family and for loaning Greystone your husband and allowing, that to happen.
Well, the formidable Paul Austin, there is no other. I'm just lucky. I'm very lucky to have him, but he has, when he puts his head to something and autism and autism awareness and bringing autism to work and showing the amazing skills that people have and showing that maybe an interview can be conducted in a different way and working with Greystone and bringing his ideas to that, and then it's a two-way street though. It may be work, but it's fulfilling work, and I think it feeds you.
Absolutely. And it's always great to be a part of something that's feeding you and be a part of something that you can contribute to. So it was such a pleasure to have you on today.
Thank you so much.
How can everyone check in with City Winery?
citywinery.com/Hudson Valley.
Awesome. So thank you so much for listening. You guys know where to find us, www.greystoneprograms.com for more .org for more information. Thanks again for listening.